We are Hubdrive. Our vision is to empower people and organizations in HR management.
Hi, my name is Daniel Heller, and today I'm going to present you the new features and new improvements in the Rollup 40. So here is our agenda for today. We have specifically for HR department, 2 new topics, addition of dashboards for time and attendance, specifically for HR supervisors. We have accrual functionality, so it's a new method for assigning leave entitlements to your employees. And then topics 3, 4, and 5, they are more related to IT. They are more technical, but we have Datafox, so we improve the response and refactoring in the time clock integration now using Power Automate, plugging multiple step registration, asynchronous and synchronous plugins, app adjustments for Power Apps per app licenses, improvements and new security roles, and last but not least, important bug fix and stabilization. Before we start, I have important information for you that as soon as you install or you update your solution with Rollup 40, the global auditing will be enabled automatically. So the first topic for HRs, it's the addition of new dashboards for time and attendance. For that, I have the system here. So let me show how this looks like. So now I'm logged as a supervisor, and this is the dashboard. So it's called HR Supervisor Time and Attendance. I will explain the tables with you. So the first table here on the left, it's called Attendance Records, and it shows to the supervisor who is absent, who didn't arrive, or employees that are working already. It shows the name of the employee, if they have a shift assigned or not. It also shows if they're on vacation or if they are sick, and the corresponding department here on the side. So they have total overview of the employees who are working or not. On the side, we have the overtime report this week, minus the absences and minus the day off today. So you have the graph here. You will see the allocated hours and how many hours your employees attended during the week. So you have the total amount of hours. In this case, he had 16 hours to work, but he just worked 13. Also, it will show if he has positive and negative overtime. Moving on, we have the same table, but now we're talking about overtime for the last week, and the logic is the same. You have attended hours, you have the allocated hours, and then you can see if they worked more or less. On the right side, we have breaks not stamped. So for this and the last week. Here, the supervisor, they can see the mandatory breaks. If you set up, in this case, we have breaks for 50 minutes. If the employee did not stamp in or out, did not clock in and out, it will generate this entry here. So the supervisor will see who is not clock in and clock out for the breaks. We have one more table for overtime, but now is for the last month. And again, you would see the total amount of allocated hours and the total hours of the employee. How many hours did this employee work? And for the last 2 tables on the bottom, we have correction required. Here on the left side, it will show the name of the employee, the date of the record, and an error message. So in this case, you see that this employee here, these 2 employees, they exceeded the maximum amount of overtime, maximum amount of hours for this day, and it will generate an entry for the supervisor. You also have error messages for not stamping out. So if the employee clock in the beginning of the day, but did not clock out to go home, it will generate an entry here. And here we have insufficient breaks stamped. So in the case an employee had a mandatory break, so let's say here in this case he had 30 minutes, but he didn't do the complete 30 minutes. He just did a fraction, 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so. It will generate an entry here on this table. So supervisors can also control this. So those are the biggest changes in time and attendance. Let me bring the agenda back. And now I'm going to show you the new functionality. So in Rollup 40, we are introducing the accruals. It's widely used, mostly for people in US and UK. And now it's available in Rollup 40 for you. Again, I will open the solution. This time I'm logged as a manager. So you see HR Hub on the top. And this table here, this view, is inside employment terms. So if you're already using the solution, you will notice that nothing changed on the top. We have two tables where you can select the absence type, how many days this employee will have it, process remaining, what's going to happen with the remaining entitlements that he will not use, and which type of entitlement he will use first. So far, so good, nothing changed. But now we have this table here, enable leave accruals. It's very easy. Once you switch on, the system will provide you three options. So you can choose monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly. In our case, I'm gonna go with monthly here. So once I save this, the system will understand that this 24 days of entitlements will be divided by 12 for each month, and every month this employee will receive 2 days in his leave summaries. So this is the biggest change that we're introducing now. I hope it's clear for you. I will bring back the agenda. And now we are directing to IT. So the first thing with Datafox. Datafox, we improve the terminals, right? So the time zone information, now it's directed from the terminal collected, and it will give the exact time. It makes the response faster, and the configuration is easily done by the HR manager. We also did some improvements in the refactoring. We are now using Power Automate. Before we had a long string of code, and using Power Automate also makes the process uncomplicated. It's aligned with Microsoft and more efficient. Here we are improving the plugin multiple step registration. Before, our solution contained asynchronous and synchronous plugins. Now all the new created plugins, they are asynchronous, and the benefits that we have a faster response, and again we are in standard with Microsoft. So this last topic, it's app adjustments for Power App per app license. What's happening is that Microsoft is ensuring that users with Power App per app license, they will have access to one app only. And Hubdrive made a step forward, and we introduced new security rules for you. So you can see the complete list of security rules here. You can also visit the release notes in your website. And the last topic, we have solved the tickets and bug fixes. So here we have a list of tickets that we solved during this quarter. There are also some improvements here. One big example that I can show you is that time summaries and subsequently time sheets throw an error when employees start in the middle of the month and not on a Monday. What was happening that when you hired an employee before, if you hired him in the middle of the month, not on a Monday, but during the middle of the week, we were not generating the time summaries and time sheets properly. But now this was fixed. So if you want to see if your case was fixed or not, you can also check in your website. So that was it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next release notes.